Good afternoon. Reconvening on this Thursday, April 30th, 2026, 1:30 p.m. Agenda in Conference Room 224 at the Hawaii State Capitol to consider Senate Bill 148, Senate Draft 2, House Draft 3 relating to combat sports. On behalf of the Senate, myself as Chair, Decoit Wakai Rhodes McKelvey Owa, excused.
And on the House side, myself as Chair, Grandinetti, Poi Poi, Hussey as co-chairs, members Tam and Gideon.
Wakai present. Thank you, Chair. As we mentioned yesterday, I think we have an agreement. You have received a conference draft from us and we are awaiting Ways and Means approval. Can we roll this over to the same time tomorrow in this room?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. We're adjourned.
I'd like to call to order the Joint House and Senate Conference Committee hearing for Thursday, April 30th. We are on our 2:25 p.m. agenda in Conference Room 224. The only item on the agenda is HB 463, HD3, SD2 related to eviction records. On behalf of the House, we have myself, Representatives Grandinetti, Poi Poi, and Miyake as co-chairs, and Representative Muraoka as manager.
Thank you. And on behalf of the Senate, myself as Chair, Rhodes Wakai co-chair, McKelvey member, Rhodes Wakai McKelvey excused.
We have agreement, but we are waiting on Fin and WAM release. So if it's agreeable with you, Senator, if we could roll this over to 225 tomorrow in Conference Room 224.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay, great. Seeing no further business, this hearing is now adjourned.
Good afternoon. Reconvening on this 2:30 p.m. agenda. It's Thursday, April 30th, 2026 in Conference Room 224. And this is Senate Bill 2961, Senate Draft 1, House Draft 1, relating to insurance. On behalf of the Senate, myself as Chair, Wakai co-chair, Awa, excused.
On behalf of the House, we have myself and Yamashita as co-chair, Pirik as manager. Pirik and Yamashita are excused.
Thank you for your work on this, Chair. We have agreement. We have a conference draft, and we are awaiting Ways and Means and Finance approval.
Yep, and I'll continue to talk to Finance about this bill. I'm hopeful that we can get it passed tomorrow.
Okay, can we reconvene on this tomorrow, same time?
Yes, 5-1, it's 5, right?
That's right.
All right.
May
5-1,
1st at
2:30,
2:30 p.m.
224.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, we're adjourned.
Wait.
You want to take a recess?
Take a short recess. Sorry.
Short recess. Okay, reconvening on this 2:40 p.m. agenda. It's Thursday, April 30th, 2026 in Conference Room 224 at the State Capitol. The first measure is Senate Bill 2471, Senate Draft 2, House Draft 2, relating to the powers of artificial persons. On behalf of the Senate, myself as Chair, Rhodes co-chair, Fukunaga McKelvey Awa excused.
On behalf of the House, it's myself, Tarnis, and Kohokapu Liloy as co-chairs, Reps Peruso and Pirik as managers. Rep Pirik is excused.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for your continued work on this, Chair. We have been trying to make sure that we have a draft on this measure that is both airtight and gives us the best chance to prevail in court and actually implementable, given our Hawaii revised statutes and our existing legal framework here in the state. I think we both have openly said multiple times, this is an important issue to address a bad holding in the Supreme Court Citizens United case. There are nuances in the chapters implicated by this bill, particularly in Chapter 414 and 414D, around the structures of artificial persons that we're trying to work through to harmonize and put the puzzle pieces together so that it works. I think on our side, the most important are reconsidering the corporate reset language, because I don't think it's as workable. I think expressing our conditions of what it takes to be chartered in the state of Hawaii as a artificial person is sufficient. Clarifying that the Attorney General, or in some cases, depending on the formation, the DCCA, would have the discretion to bring an action for dissolution of the organization if they choose to electioneer in violation of the proposed changes, or revocation of authority to conduct a business in the case of foreign entities in the event of a violation. And then again, language to reaffirm that under 414-435 and 414-461, that foreign corporations are only granted the same privileges as domestic corporations if they intend to domicile here and are subject to the same restrictions. And then we are trying to work on language to clarify, to provide clarity for labor organizations, because there are a number of different entity, like structures that labor organizations take in Hawaii. And there's some, I think, ambiguity around that we want to make sure is just clear for everyone. So, yeah, in the hopes that we can measure twice and cut once, since we, we hope not, but do anticipate potentially litigation afterward. That's where we are right now.
And I genuinely do appreciate the Senate's work on this. I think the House and Senate, like you said, are both in agreement that we'd like to make some progress towards overturning the Citizens United case or finding a workaround to it, which is what your bill is trying to do. The House has proposed a CD to the Senate, which is very different. It's a very different approach. It's the same approach being taken in Maine right now, where instead of restricting the ability for a corporation or corporate entity to spend, which could be interpreted as free speech, it's restricting the corporation's ability to accept donations over $6,000 per election cycle, or per 2-year election cycle. So both of them are two different ways, I think, of tackling the same problem. We feel the House position is stronger, but we do appreciate the Senate trying to make its position more tenable as well. I'm not going to say our position is perfect either, but it's two different approaches to try to tackle the same problem of vast overspending by political action committees to influence elections. And I think the landscape is significantly different now than when Citizens United first passed. And I think now we have evidence that this corporate money is flowing in and is influencing elections and ballot initiatives uncategorically. So we are in a different position now than I think we were back in 2010, 2012. I'm hoping that federal courts will see it differently, and that's why we proposed our position to try to tackle the problem that way. We do have some concerns with, I actually appreciate the amendments that you've proposed about kind of the corporate, I don't want to call it dissolution, but taking away the powers and putting it back. I thought that fix that you proposed was a good one. We still do have concerns over the foreign corporation question, and by foreign I mean mainland corporation question, whether we're going to restrict our guys, our Hawaii corporations, from spending, but still allow mainland corporations to spend here. I know your position is that per the language of this bill, that they will not be able to, but our concern is that because it is a matter of free speech and is federal constitutional right, that federal courts will still allow foreign mainland corporations to come in and spend here to influence our Hawaii elections. And the goal here is, we really don't want to make the situation worse. It's already bad because of Citizens United. We don't want to make the status quo any worse. So I appreciate the continued dialogue. You have our CD, we have yours. Hopefully we can try to work something out in the next day. Would you like to continue to roll this thing so we can continue the conversation?
Yes, thank you. And in the interest of organization, can we roll it to the 2:30 agenda tomorrow, May 1st, in this room, 224?
Yep, agreeable. 2:30, 224, May 1st.
Thank you very much. Okay. Next measure is Senate Bill 2487, Senate Draft 1, House Draft 1, relating to the Public Utilities Commission. On behalf of the Senate, myself as chair, Senator Wakai, co-chair, Inoue McKelvey Awa, excused.
On behalf of the House, myself as chair, co-chairs Mariyoshi and Pruso, and member Matsumoto.
As we discussed yesterday, good bill, we have agreement. We're waiting for WAM release on our side.
Yes.
And hopefully we can secure that in time to reconvene on this tomorrow, the 1st, at 2:30 PM here in room 224.
Yep, that works.
Okay, thank you. And
Adjourn?
that's it, we're adjourned. Hey, good afternoon. It's Thursday, April 30th. It's Thursday, April 30th, 2026. 3:30 PM, conference room 224 at the Capitol. This is Senate Bill 1166, Senate Draft 2, House Draft 2, relating to insurance. On behalf of the Senate, myself as chair, Inoue and Rhodes are excused.
On behalf of the House, it's myself, Tarnas, and Yamashita as co-chairs, Rep. Pirik as manager. Everyone is excused but me.
Thank you, Chair. You know, we're trying to make this work. I appreciate your work on this. On this, the Senate position is that we really would like to prioritize a measure that does not allow the insurers to step in front of the victims and policyholders trying to seek recovery from losses due to a climate disaster. That there's a subrogation framework and a whole continuum that's taken place since the Maui wildfires. And I acknowledge that's not anyone's intent here. We want the policyholder to recover first before authorizing insurers to potentially utilize this framework. And we want to make sure we stabilize the insurance market. So
We do. My issue with that is that if we're trying to get the insurance companies to step in and do the lawsuit, they're not necessarily going to do it if it's all subrogated and all the awarded damages are going to go to the homeowners. Then it might be more appropriate for the AG or some other state entity to step in and sue them on their behalf. So having the insurance companies be the vehicle here might be an issue. And it's related to insurance as the bill title, so.
But
we're in a little
funny
bit
you
of a
should
pickle.
mention that there was a prior measure
Was
that
there?
I introduced that
If
did
I see
contemplate some of that, and we're just working on it because this bill is trying to accomplish complex needs, and it's particularly relevant in light of like I said, the weather events last year, or last month.
Yep.
And especially when we get into insureds, and many of whom are underinsured. That's a lot of what happened in Wailua, in Lahaina. And so we're still trying to figure out a way to craft the language to, accomplish what we're trying to accomplish here. I know you have language that you've submitted for our consideration, and we've done the same. So can we try and reconvene tomorrow to see if we can get there?
Yeah, I just want to add that we've got a pretty nasty El Nino event coming up, so that will hopefully be in place for future damages as well. If the insurance commissioner is listening, one of the things, I did send you language. I ended up taking out a provision in this bill requiring any money damages obtained by the insurance companies to affect insurance rates going forward because of I believe it was because of some AG comments. But I do want to try to put a measure back in here requiring or have so that if the insurance companies do have some kind of damages award, to ensure that that goes into lowering premiums for existing insurance customers, or at least positively impacting those people in the past. So that I just don't necessarily trust that if they get a huge, $10 billion award, that the money is going to trickle down to the actual people of Hawaii. And I want to make sure that happens if that happens. So I appreciate you considering the language. Some language that another method that I'm considering, if the insurance commissioner is listening, is maybe making the having the insurance commissioner account for the windfall from the insurance companies when setting the next insurance rates for the admitted carriers, so that people who are getting insurance from an admitted carrier will necessarily have a lower rate because the insurance commissioner will see that the current insurance companies have sufficient reserves or excess money. We'll see. We still have to talk to the IC.
So noted. Can we reconvene on this tomorrow?
Yeah, you want to roll to the 2:30 agenda?
So the 2:30 agenda has already been posted. Can we reconvene at 2:31 tomorrow, the 1st, in room 224?
I'm sure we'll be right on time opening that schedule. But yeah, 2:31 sounds good.
Thank you.
224, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we're adjourned.